Good evening. Thanks a lot for staying with us here at CNN News 18. You're watching the biggest exclusive. I'm Ridhima Bhatnagar. Protests erupted across Hyderabad minutes after BJP MLA Raja Singh released a video making controversial comments against the Prophet. Following the protest, Raja Singh was arrested Tuesday morning, but the BJP leader defended himself, claiming that it was a comedy video and that he had made no mention as far as the Prophet is concerned. But the Telangana BJP MLA Tiger Raja Naval Singh Lodh, or as he is known, is actually not new to controversies. He is known to stir up a controversy every time he speaks, from threatening to behead those who oppose the Ram Temple and raise the houses of Uttar Pradesh voters who did not vote for Yogi Adityanath, to even calling for Rohingyas to be shot in the head. Counting this one, Raja Singh has more than 75 cases booked against him, mostly for hate and provocative speeches and even disruption of law and order. After the arrest, BJP MLA Raja Singh has now been suspended from the BJP. AIMIM chief and Hyderabad MP Assuddin Owaisi condemned Raja Singh's statement and launched a scathing attack on the BJP, saying that Hyderabad is known for its harmony, but the BJP is doing what it does best in destroying the social fabric of the city. Owaisi also said that now it's abundantly clear that BJP hates Muslims and the religion. But this is where it gets even more murkier. A video has now emerged of an MIM councillors with beheading threats and calls being made out in the open. So while the MIM is demanding action from the BJP, the question also is, will the MIM act on its own?
मुसलमानों को प्रोवोक करने के लिए और प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की शान में उन्होंने बेइज्जती करने की कोशिश की। साफ जाहिर होता है कि भाजपा मुसलमानों से और प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम से नफरत करती है।
So let's first talk to you about the IPC sections against Raja Singh. As we pointed out, he's been arrested and there's been action taken by the BJP as well. He's been suspended from the party. Section 295, insulting religion of a community. That's not the only section. There is also section 505, promoting feelings of enmity. There is also section 153A, which acts prejudicial to maintenance of harmony. But as I pointed out, as far as my introduction to the show was concerned, this BJP MLA Raja Singh actually is a serial offender. So let's break down those details. On the 19th of August, he tried to disrupt Munawar Farooqi's show in Hyderabad, though the show did happen with a lot of bandobast on the ground. He was taken into preventive custody with 50 others. Then, let's go back to the month of April as far as this year is concerned. Provocative speech during the Ram Navami Shobha Yatra as well. He was booked for creating nuisance and disturbing public peace. Let's go back to 2020 now. In the month of September, he was banned by social media platform Facebook, labeled as a dangerous individual. The social media post had said this, that Rohingyas should be shot, Muslims are traitors. Then let's go back even further to 2018. In poll affidavit declared 43 police cases against him, and as I pointed out, now with the recent count, more than 75 cases against him. At that time, the offences were delivering hate speeches, writing, and attempt to murder as well. Let's go back even further. In 2015, threatened Dadri-like action over planned beef festival. Said ready to kill or get killed to protect the cow. Again, in 2015, he was booked for assaulting a cop as well. So what really is happening, and what is the message that the BJP is trying to send? That yes, a suspension has taken place, but the larger question is, will that be enough? Let me bring in my colleague Arun Dhanta. That's the question, Arun, that yes, a suspension has taken place, but will that be enough to stop the bigotry?
Well, see, Ridhima, one thing is very clear that BJP is trying to ensure that whenever their worker, their karyakarta or their leader make such statement, they are forthcoming in taking action against them. Because, we had seen what happened in the case of Nupur Sharma and Naveen Kumar Jindal. BJP had faced a huge flack, not in the country, but even internationally as well. So, in fact, if you see the show cause notice which has been issued by the disciplinary committee of the BJP, it distances itself from the Raja statements, clearly saying that whatever T. Raja has said, that's not something which party endorses. For now, they have only suspended him. They have given him time for 10 days to react to it as to why he should not be expelled from the party. So after 10 days, once he gives his reply to that show cause notice, party will take further decision whether to expel him or not. BJP's sources are telling us that yes, T. Raja has a history of making controversial statements, but
Correct.
this time around what he said is not something which has gone down well with the top leadership of BJP, and therefore we had seen this action coming from the disciplinary committee of the BJP. And this is a message also, Ridhima, for future as well. All those workers, people who are associated with BJP, that they will have to be very, very cautious while making such statements, especially where you are speaking
Correct.
about another religion. That is something which is a clear indication and message given.
Okay, we really have to see how this plays out. Arun, thanks a lot for getting us those details. But as I pointed out that yes, there is action that is now being demanded from the BJP, the MIM is not far behind. So who really is inciting hate? Let's get you some examples where the heat has been mounted because of comments that have been made in the past by various MIM leaders. Let's begin with the month of June. On the 9th of June in 2022, Aswaddin Owaisi himself was booked for inciting social media messages. Remember, today he's come out all guns blazing, saying the BJP is doing what it does best, destroying the fabric of what Hyderabad essentially represents. On the 18th of May, again in this year, in 2022, Danish Qureshi, an MIM leader, was arrested, accused of derogatory remarks on Hindu deities. What we're also understanding, if you go back to 2021, in the month of December, a video of Gufran Noon urging Muslims to have more kids, that had also emerged on various social media platforms. Then in April 2020, there was outrage over MIM's Waris Pathan's statement as well. 15 crore Muslims can dominate 100 crore Hindus. That was the comment that was made way back in 2020. So the question is, can the MIM really take that higher moral ground today when no action really has been taken as far as the MIM corporator is concerned? Let me first bring in my colleague Swastika Das, who's been tracking all these developments for us. Swastika, that really is the question. While the outrage over what Raja Singh did and said is justified, but what about the MIM themselves? Why no action has been taken?
Well, that was the question that was taken to MIM chief Aswaddin Owaisi, and he has distanced himself from this particular MIM worker. And in fact, there's not just one, but there are two MIM workers who are clearly seen in that video raising controversial slogans. But Aswaddin Owaisi says that the party has already taken appropriate action against them as soon as they saw the video go viral on social media, and also MIM leaders have given them a rap on the knuckles of sorts as far as Aswaddin Owaisi is concerned, and he has also asked the police to take action if it deems necessary against the MIM leader. But having said that, the political war of words when it comes to the derogatory comments made by Raja Singh, while one-sided version is that he did insult the prophet, the other side, or the questions that are being raised, is the fact that appropriate action should also be taken against protesters who derided members of other communities as well, because religious sentiments, if you see, were heard on both sides. And questions are being raised as to why the MIM leaders have not been booked by the police yet.
Absolutely. Swastika, thanks a lot for getting us all those details. And the